Hello, I am Angeli Tatiana Rojas Sandoval and I am a student from the 8th semester at the Amazonian University. And this is my final practicing report. This process was supported and guided by a teacher. Her name is Olga Davila and she helped us to check the class designing, activities, and everything we needed in the practicing process. This video is a summary of the second pedagogical process, so here you will find the evidence of the activities, lessons, worksheets, and workshops designed and developed during the classes. For starting this process, it is necessary to design a didactic unit and 5 lesson plans in order to start the process with good bases. Now, let's talk about my practicing place. I work in Jorge Eliecer Gaitàn High School. This is a public high school that offers basic and secondary. It is big and has good and full equipped classroom, which is good and positive for the class development. This practicing process was developed during 3 months, when the first semester has already started. Well, important facts. My cooperative teacher was Shirley Montenegro, and my students were from 7th graders. They were teenagers, and their age was between 12 to 14. They were 39 students. Being a teacher is a hard process. There are classes to plan, worksheets, workshops. But the main thing is to handle a real class. There is not a hardest moment than facing the real contest. How to control a student if it is necessary. How to adopt the lesson plan. And that was what happened with the first classes. As we have developed our lesson plans, when we had not started the classes, the lesson plans were modified. Some classes could not be developed, and at the end, it was necessary to join topics and develop them in short classes. They were not classes because of time or because the high school developed activities. For example, at this high school, Jorge Eliecer Gaitàn, developed a project during the 3rd practicing process. And that's why it was not possible to dictate classes. But the teacher was with the students participating in that activity. In that project, students from the highest levels, from 10th and 11th grader, were supposed to show their projects, and the students from the older graders, such as 6th grader, 7th grader, 8th grader, and 9th grader, and my students from 7th grader, were supposed to participate by visiting the stands, taking notes, and developing a writing process. And well, that activity was very good. The students enjoyed it, and they did very good job. But talking about the classes at all, the lesson plan was something that was hard to handle because, well, maybe because of time they had to be modified because there were no classes, or just because the activities were not good for the students. So there were activities in which the students felt funny and developed it completely. But there were also others that should be adapted and reformulated for keeping them concentrated, active, and participative. Because if they were not active in the classroom, the classes were not be significant for them. and that's why it was a difficult process. But in general terms, the practicing process was positive and was significant and rich for us as future teachers. We were playing a role as student teacher, and we guided classes, we developed activities with the students, and they did it good. The students were active and they enjoyed what we did, and they were paying attention, and that is significant. The goal of the practicing process is bringing something new, and that was what we really did in this practicing process. The process was significant for the students and also for us as trainer teachers. We developed new material. We develop also didactic material that maybe the teacher will use in his or her future. For example, my partners and I, they were Sergio, Karen, and I developed a circle timetable, and we showed it in the mm, English fair, the last class, and it was a success. The students enjoyed the activities that were planned and designed for this board, and it was effective. So this training process has been significant for us as future teachers because practicing in real context will never be replaced by classroom micro teaching. The fact of handle behavioral situations or not effective activities among other situations that we had to face in this process gave us an introduction to the real art of teaching. And that was the most meaningful thing that we could get from this practicing process.